Have you ever felt like sex with someone felt intense, consuming, almost addictive, and then left you feeling hollow, used, or even confused about yourself? That's not a coincidence. It's how narcissists operate in the bedroom. And what I'm about to reveal could save you from years of emotional pain. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn 5 shocking sexual secrets narcissists don't want you to know. Secrets they hope you'll never discover, because once you do, their control over you collapses. If this is resonating with you, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Understanding these secrets is the first step to breaking free and reclaiming your sexual and emotional power. Sex with a narcissist can feel intense, all-consuming, and almost addictive, but the truth behind that intensity is rarely about love or genuine connection. Narcissists use sex as a tool for control rather than as a way to share intimacy. The electrifying experiences you have with them are often carefully calculated to create emotional dependence, making you crave their attention and approval long after the act is over. This isn't accidental or spontaneous, it's strategic. Every touch, every compliment, every whispered word in the bedroom can be a way to manipulate your feelings, to make you feel desired, while simultaneously binding you to their moods and whims. Unlike healthy relationships, where sex strengthens mutual closeness, narcissistic sexual encounters often leave one person feeling empty, drained, or questioning their own worth. The intensity is designed to overwhelm your emotional senses so that logic and boundaries fade in the moment. Over time, this pattern teaches your brain to associate pleasure with their control and unpredictability, creating a psychological loop that is hard to break. Even when they hurt you outside the bedroom, the memory of that sexual intensity pulls you back in, making it easier for them to manipulate and dominate. Many partners describe feeling like they've been trapped in desire, caught between craving connection and recognizing the emotional cost. The more you understand this, the more you see that narcissistic sexual behavior is rarely about mutual fulfillment. It's about power, validation, and keeping you tethered to them emotionally. The intensity you feel is real, but it's often a mask for manipulation. And recognizing this dynamic is the first step in reclaiming both your sexual agency and emotional freedom. With a narcissist, sexual encounters may feel connected on the surface, but the reality is that true emotional intimacy is almost impossible. They can mimic care, empathy, and deep connection, but it's often a performance rather than genuine feeling. When you share your thoughts, fears, or vulnerabilities, they might appear attentive and engaged, but underneath, there is a detachment, a lack of authentic emotional resonance. This creates a strange tension. You feel like someone is incredibly close to you in the moment, yet afterward, a hollow emptiness remains. The sexual intensity can feel like closeness, but it is often more about the narcissist feeling powerful or admired than about a shared experience. They struggle to truly attune to another person's emotional state because their focus is inward, on themselves, their needs, and the control they can exert. This is why many partners feel confused, why you might experience deep desire and connection in one moment, and distance, indifference, or even cruelty the next. Emotional reciprocity is minimal, so the bond feels one-sided, even if you are giving your full heart. Over time, the lack of real emotional intimacy becomes more apparent, and the sex that once felt magnetic can start to feel transactional, hollow, or manipulative. you realize that what you craved wasn't just missing, it was never truly there. Recognizing this is painful but liberating because it reframes your experience. The narcissist's sexual presence is not a reflection of love or connection. It is a reflection of their skill at imitation and their desire to keep you attached to them emotionally. Understanding this dynamic allows you to begin separating your needs from their performance and to reclaim emotional clarity and self-respect that is often lost in the swirl of their charm and intensity. At the start of a relationship with a narcissist, the sexual and emotional intensity can feel unreal, almost too good to be true. And that's because it is. This is what's often called the idealization phase, and it is carefully designed to create dependency and admiration. In the beginning, they may shower you with attention, compliments, and sexual desire that feels overwhelming and intoxicating. Every word, every touch, every moment seems perfectly tailored to make you feel special, irresistible, and seen like never before. They may express fantasies, make grand gestures, or create an almost obsessive focus on your wants and needs, but this attention is rarely sustainable. It is a strategy, a way to hook you emotionally and make you crave their approval. During this phase, sexual encounters can feel magical, passionate, and consuming, leading you to believe you have found a deep, extraordinary connection. The danger is that this intensity is not about mutual intimacy, but about control. By flooding you with admiration and sexual attention, they create a high emotional honeymoon that becomes a reference point, a standard against which all later interactions are measured. Once you are emotionally invested, the attention can suddenly shift, revealing inconsistency, withdrawal, or even cruelty, leaving you confused and desperate to regain that initial closeness. This phase is a trap, a way to establish influence and loyalty before revealing the more controlling and manipulative behaviors that follow. Understanding the idealization phase helps you see that the passion you experienced was part of a pattern, not proof of authentic love. Recognizing this allows you to reclaim perspective and emotional clarity, helping you to see the difference between true connection and strategic performance, and ultimately freeing yourself from the cycle before deeper emotional harm occurs. One of the most insidious ways narcissists manipulate sexual dynamics is through shame and gaslighting. They often take natural desires, boundaries, or insecurities and twist them into a weapon, making you question yourself in ways that slowly erode confidence and self-trust. You may feel that your preferences, your comfort levels, or even your excitement are somehow wrong or too much. But the truth is that the problem is never with you. It is with how they choose to manipulate. A narcissist can shame you for wanting intimacy, for saying no, for expressing desire, or even for questioning their behavior. They may make sly comments, use sarcasm, or imply that your reactions are excessive, immature, or selfish. Over time, these tactics condition you to doubt your instincts, to feel guilty for natural feelings, and to walk on eggshells around intimacy. Gaslighting compounds this further. When you express discomfort or try to communicate boundaries, a narcissist may deny your reality, minimize your feelings, or rewrite events so that you feel confused and unstable. This creates a cycle where your emotional and sexual autonomy is constantly challenged, and you become more reliant on their interpretation of reality rather than trusting your own perception. It is not about love, connection, or mutual pleasure. It is about control. The more confused and self-doubting you feel, the easier it is for them to manipulate and maintain dominance. Recognizing this pattern is liberating because it allows you to name the behavior for what it is, reclaim your sexual boundaries, and rebuild trust in your own instincts. Understanding that the shame and gaslighting are deliberate tools, not reflections of your worth or desire, is a crucial step in breaking free and creating sexual relationships rooted in respect, consent, and authentic connection. With a narcissist, sexual intimacy is rarely just about mutual pleasure or connection. It often becomes a strategic tool to control, manipulate, and condition behavior. They learn very early in relationships that withholding or giving sex at specific moments can influence your actions and emotions in profound ways. When you comply with their desires, follow their rules, or give in to their demands, sexual intimacy may be offered as a reward, making you feel loved, desired, or validated. This reward, however, is conditional, and it is never purely about affection. It is a lesson in obedience and dependence. On the other hand, when you resist, express boundaries, or act independently, sex may be withheld, delayed, or used to provoke guilt, frustration, or longing. This creates a push and pull dynamic where your emotional and sexual needs are manipulated to keep you tethered, constantly seeking approval or trying to regain intimacy. Over time, this pattern trains your mind to associate sexual closeness not with connection or love, but with power, compliance, and emotional tension. The highs feel exhilarating, the withdrawals feel punishing, and you begin to chase both, often at the cost of your own self-respect and clarity. You may start to believe that the problem lies within you, that you need to adjust or perform differently to earn love, when in reality the system is designed entirely to benefit the narcissist. Recognizing this manipulation is crucial because it reveals the underlying motive: control, not connection. Understanding that sexual intimacy is being used as a lever allows you to step back, reclaim your autonomy, and redefine your relationships on your own terms. Seeking partnerships where desire is mutual, consistent, and rooted in genuine respect rather than tactics of reward and punishment. Even after the intensity, the idealization, the push and pull of sex as reward and punishment, many people notice a lingering emptiness after being with a narcissist. This is because long-term sexual fulfillment and emotional intimacy are rarely present. The early passion, the seductive energy, the overwhelming attention, it's all designed to hook you, not sustain a healthy, enduring connection. Over time, sex may become routine, mechanical, or emotionally disconnected, leaving you wondering why the initial fire and desire have disappeared. This is not because your partner has changed in a normal way or because the relationship has simply cooled. It's because narcissists struggle to maintain mutual desire that is truly reciprocal or emotionally intimate. Their focus is often on performance, control, or validation rather than connection. You may feel like something is missing, like the magic never reaches you anymore, or like you are giving more than you are receiving. This persistent imbalance can create frustration, self-doubt, or even obsession because you remember the intensity of the idealization phase and try to chase it again. Unlike healthy partnerships, where sexual desire and intimacy evolve and deepen over time, narcissistic relationships are cyclical, creating highs and lows that keep you emotionally hooked, but leave the core of your sexual and emotional needs unmet. Recognizing this is crucial because it reframes your experience. The emptiness is not a reflection of your worth, attractiveness, or ability to maintain passion. It is a reflection of their limitations and their strategy to hold power rather than build connection. Understanding this truth allows you to stop chasing illusions and instead seek relationships where desire, respect, and emotional connection are genuine and sustaining. Another hidden sexual secret narcissists don't want you to know is their use of infidelity as validation. While it may look like casual affairs, flirtations, or secret sexual encounters, these actions are rarely about genuine attraction or love. Instead, they serve a psychological purpose, proving their desirability, reinforcing their ego, and asserting control over the relationship. They may flaunt attention from others subtly or openly, or even keep affairs secret while making you feel lucky or special, creating a confusing web of comparison, insecurity, and dependence. The goal is to make you question yourself, to keep you chasing approval, and to remind you that their attention is scarce and valuable. When confronted, narcissists are often dismissive, charmingly deflective, or even manipulative in gaslighting you into believing that your feelings are irrational. In reality, the infidelity is a performance, a way to boost self-esteem and maintain a sense of power rather than a reflection of dissatisfaction with the relationship itself. Over time, this pattern erodes trust and self-confidence, and many partners find themselves obsessing over what they could have done differently, trying to reclaim the attention and desire that has been strategically distributed elsewhere. Understanding this secret reframes these actions not as random betrayals, but as deliberate strategies to manipulate emotions and reinforce control. Recognizing that infidelity in a narcissistic context is about validation, not connection, allows you to detach emotionally, protect your self-worth, and refuse to participate in the cycle. Once you see through this pattern, the power of their sexual charm diminishes, and you can begin to reclaim autonomy, boundaries, and clarity in your intimate life, refusing to be tethered to manipulation disguised as desire. Another secret narcissists don't want you to know is that their sexual desire is conditional and ultimately self-centered. With a narcissist, intimacy is rarely mutual or collaborative. It revolves around their needs, their ego, and their timing. They may initiate sex when it serves them, when they want admiration, validation, or control, but often show little interest in your needs, pleasure, or comfort. Requests for reciprocity, emotional closeness, or consideration may be ignored, dismissed, or even punished, leaving you feeling invisible or unworthy. This creates a relationship dynamic where sexual connection feels unbalanced, one-sided, and transactional. Even during moments that feel passionate, the focus is often on performance, dominance, or reinforcing their sense of power rather than genuine connection. This is why many partners report feeling like they are performing rather than sharing, like intimacy is something they must earn, or that it exists only on the narcissist's terms. Over time, this conditional desire teaches you to suppress your own needs, anxieties, or boundaries in order to gain access to their approval or affection, reinforcing dependence and emotional entanglement. Recognizing this pattern is crucial because it reframes the experience. It is not about your worth, attractiveness, or effort. It is about their inability or unwillingness to engage in mutually fulfilling intimacy. Once you understand that their desire is conditional and self-focused, you can begin to step back, protect your boundaries, and seek relationships where sexual connection is reciprocal, respectful, and emotionally nourishing. Awareness of this secret is empowering because it allows you to reclaim your sexual agency, refuse manipulation disguised as desire, and invest in connections that value your needs as much as their own. The truth is, understanding these secrets changes everything. Narcissists rely on charm, intensity, and manipulation to keep you tethered, but once you see the patterns, the illusions begin to dissolve. Sex is not always intimacy with them. It can be a tool for control, a way to test your boundaries, or a strategy to boost their ego. The idealization, the intensity, the push and pull, the gaslighting, the reward and punishment, the infidelity, the self-centered desire, and the emptiness that lingers afterward all form a pattern designed to confuse, captivate, and dominate. Recognizing these dynamics allows you to reclaim clarity, self-respect, and autonomy. You no longer have to chase approval, tolerate manipulation, or question your instincts. Awareness becomes your most powerful ally because once you understand their game, the control they wield over you weakens, and you can step out of the cycle with confidence. The sexual charm and intensity that once seemed magical lose their grip when you see them for what they are: performances and tactics, not authentic love. Knowing these secrets doesn't just protect you. It frees you to pursue relationships built on mutual respect, true desire, and emotional connection. You can set boundaries without guilt, express your needs without fear, and finally create intimacy that is nourishing rather than confusing. The more you understand these hidden patterns, the more empowered you become, and the more capable you are of choosing connection over manipulation, awareness over illusion, and freedom over control. These truths may be uncomfortable, but they are liberating because once you see through the facade, you can step into your own power, reclaim your desire, and create relationships that reflect your worth rather than someone else's control.